Hello viewers, welcome to Core for Any. Today we need to start this here the API makings for the shop owners. We need to accepting this here the order items like here the one order inside the multiple items we need to ordering here. We need to one by one check this here the shop owners need to available the availability, and then after the accept particular specifics one orders we need to order item accept and rejects. Like this we need to make here the app functionality we need to set here. Now we need to write here the API app.post to write down here the slash API slash admin slash we need to give this here the order item accept reject. Now we need to pass this here the request and response like this sets here. Now need to call this here the helper dot delogs and to pass this here the request dot body. Need to print request body. For the debug purpose you need to print here always to which parameters gets here. So need to identify here the value of the right value. That's why I need to printing here always here the debugging with the API calls. Need to which parameters send here the API. I need to checking here. That's why I need to always need to print this here the helper.dlogs. I need to easy to find out here the logical issue. That's why you need to always use this here the debug logs. Now we need to save inside this here the request objects this value of the request of body. Need to save this variable inside the all data like here's. Now need to check this here the access tokens. Need to verify here the access tokens. Need to give this here the request dot headers. Need to pass first parameters, then after response objects, and if here this valid, then to returning this here the user objects inside the callback functions. If here the not valids, then to get this here the unauthorized access and to terminate this here the API calls and close this here the access. And we need to check here the always need to admin access this API. We need to provide this here. So always this admin user only access this API. Otherwise unauthorized need to returning this here for this API. Now we need to check this here the parameters. We need to write down here the helpers dot check parameter valids, and we need to pass this here the response, and we need to set this here the request objects. Then after need to pass this here the value like here the pass this here the parameters. We need to set this here the orders items accept and rejects like this. We need to set here. First of all we need to need this here the item order ID. We need to need here for this years, and then after need to is accept, and if here the rejects, then to give this here the reject reasons, we need to also need to providing this here the reasons why not accept. We need to set this here the reasons, and maybe into typo here fix reason typo, like we need to set this here for specific disorders. Now then after so need to if here the valid, then to blank callbacks you need to return here. If not, then to missing parameters need to terminate this here the API calls like we need to set here. Now need to call this here the db.query, and we need to update this here the related to the status. We need to updating for this records. We need to change this here for this status. Now we need to set this here the order items. We need to put this here the API. Now need to open this here the database, and to select this here the SQLs, and select this here the order item details tables, and we need to call this here the updates. Now need to remove need this here the order item, and then after we need to remove this here the all things no needs. We need to need here also here this value. Need to cut here reasons also need to provide here like this blank question marks, and status also need to set here the question marks, and created dates no needs. Now need to set here the modify, and we need to set this here the now like here's, and we need to remove this here and to give this here the order ID slash question mark, and also need to set this here the status is equal to set here the question mark is equal to need to set this here the 0. Cut here for this API calls. Now we need to paste this here, and we need to pass this here the value of this query into first ones like this. Set here first of all need to results. Which conditions inside needs here the reasons. First of all need to need these conditions. You need to if here the is not accepted value is the false. That's why need to always need to give this here the reasons like this. Need to setting here the conditions. Now need to check here the request object dot is accept copy here and to paste this here equal to 1 means here blank. Otherwise you need to set here the reasons value. If here accept then to not need to pass any reasons. Blank you need to pass here like here need to first reasons columns need to done here. Now need to accepted orders. Now need to set here the status need to maintain for the accept need to set here the 1 and we need to give this here the 0 like here need to request object dot is accept means here 1 then to set this here the 1. Otherwise you need to set this here the rejects. You need to set this here the orders rejects 7. So need to set here for rejections for this api. You need to confirming this here like this. You need to setting here. Then after so need to also need to check this here the another order id. You need to pass here item order id. Now need to copy here and to set this here the request object dot order id. Like we need to pass this here the three parameters need to given this here. Now errors and result like here. Now we need to check this here. If errors, then we need to write down here the helper throw HTML errors and to give this here the errors and response object into returning this here the response and return these functions and terminate this calls. If not gets any errors, then to get this here the results affected row, you need to check here more than 0 means here the successfully database inside the status update for these columns. You need to successfully now need to respond this here the status order accepted successfully like this returns here the messaging related appropriate if either is accept then to successfully accepted. If reject successfully rejected your products like this. We need to set here the message. Now need to set here the status is equal to set here the 1 and now need to set here the message set here. Now need to give this here the message. Need to first of all need to identify here the success message need to give and then after need to pass message. Here's orders item is rejected successfully like this message and here's accepted successfully like this message. Need to set here's else parts need to pair message. If here the not update affected row set gets here the 0 means here the pairs not update inside the database and to manage this here the status is equal to 0 and now need to write down here the message. Need to write down here the message as a fail message msc fail like we need to respond here and to save this here. Now this is the order item accept and rejects api. We need to done here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new user, so please subscribe my channels and press the notification bell icon. You can get every new video notifications and awesome content. If you have any questions, so please write down the comment sections. I will help you and sort out your issue. Everyone have a nice day. Goodbye and take care. And tomorrow need to making here the delivery boys. How to assign this here the delivery boy. API need to making here before making here the delivery boy need to create here the delivery users need to create first of all need to need here for the managing here the status.